What a world. What so of bleed black in gold. As you know, I am the host, Brandon Janeau, and on all podcast platforms everywhere, BrandonJaneauShow. Social media, Instagram, Threads, Brandon Janeau. Facebook, the Brandon Janeau Show, and of course, TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Go follow me on all of those social media platforms, man. so much, so much going on, man. Uh, is the YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show, man. Go to YouTube, Brandon Janeau Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, uh, like, comment. I do comment back. It helps in the algorithm if you like. Uh, so yeah. Um, NFL have just released their schedule, and I will be doing a show tomorrow night. Tomorrow on the entire NFL schedule. I gotta finish writing it all down. Talk about some of the key games, some of the things that I'm looking forward to. Some of the games I feel like could determine playoff situations. But tonight is just about the Saints, my New Orleans Saints. Um, yeah, man. Talk about our schedule. What do I think of the team moving forward? Give you some of my predictions. Do I think Saints have a chance to win a division this year? Do I think the Saints have a chance to uh, at least be relevant this year? All of those things, man. But before I get to the schedule, Derek Carr. So last week, last Saturday, I think it was, Derek Carr, um, formerly the New Orleans Saints quarterback, uh, retired from the NFL. Uh, Apparently, he had a torn labrum in his shoulder. He had a lot of leg injuries, a lot of things going on, and he was just like, it's just time to hang up the cleats. Um, Here's the thing. I'm not like everybody else. Um, because here's the thing. He played for the Saints for what, the 3 years. Since 2022, I want to say we signed him in 2022. So he played for the Saints for like 2 years, really. Um, he was also my brother Juan's team's quarterback, the Raiders. He only played for two teams, Saints and Raiders. Raiders and Saints his entire career. Um, Here's the filler. Here's the thing. Saints Twitter had a field day. Everybody was celebrating. Everybody was happy. Everybody was. I'm not sure if they did a second line, but I'm pretty sure they did a second line in New Orleans. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Um, how do I feel about Derek Carr retiring from the Saints? I think he was trying to um force New Orleans' hands in some situations. Uh, the shoulder injury that came out of nowhere and was put in the press before the Saints could really even explain what the hell is going on, which prompted everybody to immediately start saying the Saints need to take a quarterback in a draft. I think Derek Carr didn't want to be there, or he at least wanted some more money, and he wanted to get paid more. And shit just went left. Yes, is he hurt? Yes, of course he's hurt. I don't think he's faking an injury. Um, but at the same time, I'm not like a lot of Saints fans. where a lot of them are like, oh man, good riddance. My feelings on that is, was Derek Carr the best quarterback that we had? No, not even close. Was he Drew Brees? Hell no, not even close. What Derek Carr was a symbol that most of us can easily understand. We had a player that we all agreed did not fit New Orleans. Across the fucking board. I don't give a fuck if you were a super hardcore Saints fan, who that nation to the fullest, or you just a casual Saints fan. I'm pretty sure all of us agreed that we were cool. We were cool. Um, with Derek Carr, you know, retiring. It's not no tears were shed on anybody's side when Derek Carr was announced that he retired. No tears were shed by any Saints fan. I'm pretty sure on it. What the problem kicks in though is the Saints. I feel like the Saints have known Derek Carr was not coming back for a minute. And with that being said, you knew that the Saints, if Derek Carr was probably not coming back, and you knew this, and you still, and you knew you were gonna have to drive a quarterback, immediately people would sit there and say, "Well, why didn't you just take Shador?" I think it was more about a character issue than a talent issue. I think, and people could sit there and say that that doesn't matter, but it does fucking matter. The Saints is a very old team. The Saints have a lot of Grizzly veterans, and you're gonna turn the keys over of a lot of these people's careers. We don't know how long Cam Jordan's gonna be playing. We don't know how long Demario Davis is gonna be playing. We don't know how long Tyrann Mathieu has. We don't know how long a lot of these players have, and yet you're saying just turn the keys over, turn the whole entire team over to a kid, to a guy that has character issues. Warranted or not, he has character flaws. Some of those he created himself, and some of those maybe were super you know increased by the media, or social media. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I don't know what's the difference now. Fuck, media and social media are kind of the same fucking boat now. Some of this he did to himself, and some of this was created by the hype around the name Sanders. But either way it goes, the Saints saw that and said, "I don't want any parts of it. I don't want any parts of it." And it's not just the Saints. It was the Browns, who he eventually did get drafted by, but the Browns passed on Shador what, 5 different separate times, 6 really. They drafted like 2 picks in the second, they had like 2 picks in the third, and like what, a pick in the fourth, and they passed on this kid every fucking time their name came up. His name came up. Pittsburgh, who needs a quarterback, and still you're putting your hopes and dreams on the Pittsburgh Steelers to end up with Aaron Rodgers, and that's a stupid fucking thing to do. Even though I think Pittsburgh's offensive line is going to be extremely great this year, I think a lot of people are not really giving Pittsburgh a lot of conversation because they just immediately are writing them the fuck off. But I'm like, it's Mike Tomlin. They actually built an offensive line last year. The rookie that they drafted last year from Washington, he got hurt. So if he's healthy with a center that you drafted last year who played pretty fucking well, you still got Broderick Jones. You drafted another tackle last year too. That offensive line that they have is actually ready to go. And then you drafted a guy like Caleb Johnson from Iowa, who is a really good fucking running back who can take the pressure off of whoever is the quarterback at the time. And you still got Jalen Warren, who's there. Uh, people don't know how good Pittsburgh is. DK Metcalf, like, I think people are so, again, it's this quarterback shit. Y'all are so offensive quarterback driven in the world nowadays that y'all forget that it's a team sport. It is a team sport still. There's 2 sides to the football. But I don't think Shador was ever going to get drafted by the Saints. I think that they truly had their mind set on Tyler Shuck. Yes, despite his age, he he blended with the offense. He blended with the team more than Shador did. They didn't have to worry about a maturity issue. They didn't have to worry about him getting his confidence. They didn't have to worry about feeding his ego. They didn't have to do any of that shit. They knew right then and there that this kid was ready to go if they needed to put him in a situation. Can you play right now if we put you in? A lot of people sit there and say, yeah, Shador can, but he can't. He can't. With no offensive line, you barely have a run. Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you? And I think a lot of people want to shit on that decision for the Saints. A bunch of fucking teams that pass on on Shador. The Raiders, who needed a quarterback. The Colts, who needed a quarterback. Like that's a bunch of fucking Jets could have taken a quarterback. There's a bunch of fucking teams that could have taken Pittsburgh. Like I said, there's a bunch of teams that are very shaky. San Francisco, who just signed Brock Purdy today, could have taken Shador Sanders and set him behind Kyle Shanahan's offense and said, okay, for a year, he sits behind Brock Purdy. We know at least we got him. So if the contract situation with Brock Purdy did not work out, you had Shador Sanders for a year. Dallas, you just got George Pickens. If this shit goes south, who says you keep Dak Prescott? Who says you keep him? Arizona, Kyler Murray. This feels like Kyler Murray's last real year with the Cardinals. You could have took Shador Sanders and set him behind him. Like I told my brother also, a lot of people forget that you don't want to bring in a guy like Shador Sanders because this is the problem. Immediately, people will start screaming, so when is he going to start? That is the problem. I think the Saints knew what the situation was. And this, like I said, despite what y'all feel, talent does not mean that we're just going to take you no matter what. Not in the NFL. I think people get that twisted. If I saw this post and it's so true. If Shiloh had Shador's confidence and Shador has Shiloh's confidence. If he came off like his brother Shiloh, which is kind of like a little bit more reserved and humbled, and I don't say humbled. I hate that fucking word. Y'all have used that word so fucking much that y'all have killed that word. But more reserved, more isolated, kind of more of a anti-sociable person. He came in with a bit more of a demeanor like, I'm just here to play football. I don't want to draw attention to myself. If he came in like that, he might have gotten drafted earlier. He probably would have. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like he wouldn't have. I mean, if, like you said, like everybody's been saying, the talent is there. It's not like the talent's not there. It's there. But the problem with this is that people have created this unrealistic um thing because again we live on there's so many people that now live in social media world, and then social media world is reality, and reality is, in what fucking job do you think you could walk into and talk crazy and reckless and you still gonna get offered that job? Like you people really do believe they live in social media world. Tyler Shuck is a good quarterback. He is he a franchise changing quarterback? No. Nobody is. We don't know until you get on the football field and you play against grown ass adult men and you show who the fuck you are. Nobody is. We don't know. Do I think he can be? We shall see. People who can sit there and say, "Oh, he's 26, he's old." Bro, do you understand that that most quarterbacks like a Tyler Shuck had the talent, they just got injured? The man wasn't a bad quarterback in college. Like people continuously act like this motherfucker was just terrible and he didn't play. The man was a highly recruited quarterback out of high school. Like people are pretending like this, and now you're hearing now people talking and people are saying like, nah, he's actually really fucking good. Like dude can play. Now you're seeing tapes and everything, but until he gets on the football field and he proves himself, and this is the same thing with the uh um Shador thing. Until you get on the football field and you prove yourself, I'm tired of the talking. Can you prove yourself? Can you really show who the fuck you are? If not, then I don't want to hear this shit. But I definitely think Derek Carr was retiring before they got to uh uh the playoffs. Playoffs, Lord have mercy. I think Derek Carr was retiring before they got to the draft. I think they knew Derek Carr was gonna probably retire because there's no way in hell you don't. Because here's the thing: the Saints as a team, right? The Saints are how can I say this? The Saints know his medical situation. They know his medical records. They know his medical history. They know what's going on. So to sit there and pretend, this is why I think they said straight up, like, "Hey, man, we can't." I think that is why they said, like, why did he blurt this out before we can really sit there and have a conversation with him? But yeah, I just felt like that was a crazy thing. Derek Carr retiring, it came out of nowhere. It did. It came out of nowhere. But at the same time, Does it change how we? Does it change how now his career is looked at in the sense of the Saints? No, he didn't do anything. He didn't do a damn thing. His first year, he tried to play through injuries. I mean, I think he had like a broken collarbones. I think a collapsed lung, some shit like that. He had a lot of shit going on with him. The first year he came to New Orleans, we started off pretty all right. I think we were like 1-1. But you got to realize the 2 years he was with the Saints, man, the man was fucking hurt most of the year. The first year he played, he tried to play through the injuries. The second year, he got fucked up, and it was just like, okay, well, what can we do? Schedule. Now, with that being said, there is a new quarterback in town. Now, who is it? Is it Spencer Rattler? Is it Tyler Shuck? I know it ain't Jake, Hearing, whoever the fuck the dude name is. I know it ain't him. So you go ahead and cross his fucking name off the list. That motherfucker ain't the starting quarterback. I know that much. Um, so he ain't the starting quarterback. I know that damn much. He ain't the guy. Um, it really is between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. That's it. Those are the two guys. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Schedule is here. Schedule is here. Um, I circled all of the conference games that we have this upcoming season. Um, I put an X at the most important games, the games I feel like we may win or may not win, but if we show up and we show that we can actually hang with these teams, we might be dangerous moving forward. Not this year, but moving forward, we might be dangerous. So X next to those games. Um, the divisional games. I put a I put a bullet next to the divisional games. Because they're divisional games. So yeah. Well, I circled all the conference games because these games we might not, depending on how the season goes, these games could determine where we end up. Excuse me, at the end of the year. If we're middle of the pack like we've been in the last couple of years, we can either still win the division or probably still get into the playoffs. Then these games are going to matter to us. So that's why I circled those games. First game, Cardinals at home. We start the season at home for 2 games consecutively, which is pretty goddamn interesting. Um, we start off at home against the Arizona Cardinals. This is a conference game, clearly, so I circled it. But I feel like this is also a very important game for us too. Um, why do I put an X by it? I think the Cardinals are going to be a team that a lot of people are not really paying attention to this year. Like last year, I said the Cardinals were probably going to make the playoffs. Now I was off by what I think a game, maybe 2 games in the NFC West. This is why I also say I feel like this is Kyler Murray's last real year with the Arizona Cardinals because if he does not get this team somewhat competitive and beat in the playoffs when the NFC West is kind of on this downward spiral, San Francisco is not as competitive as they usually are. Seattle's got a new head coach, new quarterback. Offensive line is a little down. The running game for Seattle is up and down for a lot of those seasons, up and down for a lot. And then you have the receiving core. You trade DK Metcalf. You let go of Tyler Lockett. What the fuck are the Seattle Seahawks receiving core look like? And like I said, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold did not bring Justin Jefferson. He did not bring Jordan Addison, and he damn sure didn't bring Kevin O'Connell with him to Seattle. So that's already a fucking problem. Rams are the only team I can see maybe still having somewhat of a good season, but I feel like also there's a reason for why Matthew Stafford has either been in conversation to leave the Rams or retire from the Rams. One of these seasons, he's going to have that year where he's good. He's just not good enough. This might be the year, and this is why I circled the Cardinals game as not just a conference game, but a very important game. It's the first game of the season. I know, but this is a very impactful game because what if the Cardinals and us are tied at the end of the year, and whoever won that game in week 1 actually does not matter? That is why I feel like this game is important for a lot of reasons. I mean, yes, it's the first game. We don't know what we're gonna look like. But I think a lot of people are overlooking the fucking Cardinals. I think people are truly overlooking the Cardinals. The Cardinals have a pass rush now. They have they've always had a really good defense. Marvin Harrison Jr. is in his second year. Kyler Murray needs to prove himself now. They have one of the best tight ends in the league and a pretty goddamn durable running back in James Conner. I mean, like this isn't just a runoff, man. Like, and he also drafted a kid last year from I think Florida State, Trey Benson. So the Cardinals are not a fucking pushover. Like this is not going to be an easy ass game. I can see the Cardinals beating us easily. I can see the Cardinals whooping our ass actually in the Superdome. I can easily see it. So yeah. Next game is the 49ers. Like I said, 49ers just signed Brock Purdy. So they're on a super high right now. This is one of those games that I don't know what is gonna be. This is one of those games. I did not put an X by it. I do not think this is one of those impactful games for us. I think it's one of those games where it's just like it's a conference game. I think that it depends on what Saints we have. I think week 1 will be just a week 1 game. Week 2 is really now we're gonna see who the Saints are moving forward. If we can get some solids out of this, because I'm looking at this, San Francisco has an offensive line. The offensive line is not great. It's alright. It's not great. Um, a healthy Christian McCaffrey is always a problem. George Kittle's getting up there in the age department. Brandon Ayuk is coming off of a torn ACL, I think. Um, I don't know what San Francisco's offense is going to look like. That's hard to see. The same thing with Saints, right? I don't know what the offense is going to look like. San Francisco's defense is in the same boat as the offense. I have no idea what the fuck the defense is going to look like. One thing about San Francisco's defense that I've always said is that secondary sucks. It's not good. They haven't fixed it since Kyle Shanahan has been a fucking since Kyle Shanahan has been the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. That secondary is not good. You also got rid of a lot of pieces on that defense. So you're now asking a lot of guys who probably never had to step it up and be in certain situations to be the guys now. You lost a safety, you lost a linebacker, you lost two linebackers, you lost a defensive end, you lost. There's a lot of shit the San Francisco 49ers physically lost in that game in this offseason that now they have to replace. And that offense is very dependent on Christian McCaffrey. No matter how much money you play Brock Purdy, that offense is still dependent on Christian McCaffrey. And if he is okay and he can go, then all right, then maybe we have a whole different conversation. But if he's still kind of a little gimpy, Saints can get him. Saints can get him. First road game of the season is in Seattle. Um, I'm more worried about the fan base than the fucking team itself. The Seattle Seahawks fan base, yeah, the 12th man, yeah, maybe they put a little bit more emphasis on that. But if you ask me right now about the team, Seattle had a really good draft. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like Seattle did not have a really good draft this year. They have some players that can definitely step in and play right now. But I am again in this mindset of it's Sam fucking Darnold. I am not afraid of Sam fucking Darnold. The Saints can either be 1-1, 0-2, or 2-0 by the time they walk into Seattle. Buffalo, it's a prove yourself game for me. It's a prove yourself game only because of what Buffalo has been for the last couple of years. Not so because I think Buffalo is just a better team than us. I do believe this is going to be the hardest task out the gate for a very young offensive line that doesn't really have structure just yet. You got, Ed Oliver on that defensive line. You got Joey Bosa now on that defensive line. Greg Rousseau still on that defensive line of the Buffalo Bills. But Buffalo's secondary is very questionable. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback, but if you could, and I think also a lot of people not paying attention is Buffalo's going to be a team that's not going to be putting up 30, 40 points this year. They're going to be a very particular team. They're going to be very particular how they fucking move because they're going to have to use James Cook a lot. That offensive line is going to have to be really in depth with this team, and they don't really have a receiving core. You're putting Josh Allen in certain situations to do more than probably what he can do. But this is one of those prove it games. I do believe it's one of those prove it games, and we should see if the Saints can prove it. Especially on the road, that's going to be one of those interesting games. I think that's going to be a heavy run game for the Saints. They were back at home for two more games. The Giants and the Patriots. Giants beat us the last time we had them in New Orleans. With Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. That was all they fucking needed. I'm assuming Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback. It could be Jameis Winston. That'd be some funny shit. I don't know about this game. I think that the Giants defense will give us problems. I think the Giants defense is going to give us a lot of problems. This might be a game where we have to depend on our defense a lot. So yeah, Patriots game. I expect us to lose to Patriots. I expect us to lose to Patriots. I'm very high on the Patriots. Very high on the Patriots. If Stephon Diggs is healthy, still by the time they get to week 6, and that offense got momentum, and that defense is that defense, I would not be surprised if we get blown out by New England. I would not be surprised if we get blown out by New England. I would not. I would not be surprised. Then we're on the road against Chicago Bears. It's a divisional game, so I circled it. It's a prove you game. It's a proving game for us. I think it's a prove it game for us. Reason why I say it's a prove it game for us is because everybody's so high up on the Bears. I am not. I am not. Excuse me. I'm not high on the Bears. I'm not. Um, but this is one of those games where, again, it can impact the playoff standings if we win. So let's say it's us and the Bears, and it's a tiebreaker situation, and we won the head to head, and we kind of got a little bit of a conference better record than they do. We can go into Chicago and win this game. I mean, like I said, I'm not super high on Chicago. I'm not. I'm not super high. I know a lot of people are just so damn high on Chicago. I don't know why, particularly. I do know why. Caleb Williams, but what is the Bears' defense? I just don't know what Chicago looks like this season. I don't know. Their offensive line should be good. It should be better than what it was last year. But who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Number 8 is our first divisional game. Week 8 is our first divisional game. It's at home, and it's against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, I circled it. I put an X on it because it's the most impact. It's an impactful game. It's an improving game, and I put a bullet on it because, of course, it's a divisional game. Um, by week 8, we should know what the stakes are. We should at least know. Okay, this season is either going completely off script, is going completely the fuck off the rails by now. We need to just start packing shit up, start trading people the fuck out the building like we did like last year. So maybe start looking into maybe trading Alvin Kamara, maybe call Cam Jordan and say, hey, man, listen, it might be time for you to hang it up, get the fuck out of here. Um, Same now with Mario Davis, and now with Ron Matthew. Or we could be in a divisional race. Um, we could be in the divisional race. The first 7 games are not crazy games. They're not super over the top games. I think people are going off of what they perceive these teams to be more so what I'm actually looking at. I'm like, yeah, you just paid Brock Purdy all this money, but the offense is still relying on Christian McCaffrey. I don't trust Sam Darnold, despite what happened last year. That's one fucking year. He did not bring any of those people with him. Buffalo's a game that I could see, but I could also feel like Buffalo's offense, excuse me, doesn't really have a receiver. They got 2 tight ends. If Dawson Knox is healthy, and they're relying on Josh Allen to get shit done. If you can stop him, you pretty much stop the Buffalo Bills. The Giants is such a question mark. I don't know. The Patriots is the only team I feel 100% confident in that by week 6, when we play them, they will have their shit together and they will know who they are and they will beat the living hell out of us. The Bears are a game where it can go either way. It can literally go either way. I'm not high on the Bears. I'm just not. I'm not high on the Bears at all. I don't know what Ben Johnson's going to look like as a head coach. Nobody does. He is an offensive minded coach. He looks great. But again, you don't have the Detroit Lions offensive line. You don't have the Detroit Lions running game. You damn sure don't have the Detroit Lions receiving core. So you're putting yourself into a situation where you're saying go out there and figure it out. And good luck with it. And the defense of Chicago is a little shaky. So by the time we get to week 8, we can probably be in the conversation for the division. We could probably be in the conversation. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what Tampa's going to look like. I do not know. I don't know what Tampa's going to look like. Uh, they drafted a receiver first round, which is like, how the fuck would you do that? I get it because Chris Godwin has always been a little bit banged up. For the last couple of years, he's always had these season-ending injuries, and you can't continuously depend on Mike Evans to be the guy. So I get the decision, but it's just like, okay. Um, but again, the secondary of Tampa is not great. So let's see what happens in week 8. Week 9, we go to Los Angeles, and week 10, we go to Carolina. So both games are very impactful games. Both are conference games. One is a divisional game. Um, Rams game is going to be hard. That's going to be a difficult game. It's going to feel like the Los Angeles Chargers game last year. For us. One thing I want to see is how Kellen Moore is going to use Taysom Hill. I want to see how he's going to use Taysom Hill this year. That's going to be an intriguing thing to see. What is he going to do with Taysom Hill? How's he going to be used? Because I'm not saying you need to do but if you do the tush push with Taysom Hill, now that's a different conversation. So the Rams game is going to be very highly influenced on how we are moving the football, particularly, and how our defense is holding up against. Again, last year our defense wasn't bad against the Rams. We actually had them in a game. That was a tight game for most of the game. So the Rams just pulled away late in the third quarter. It was just like they just pulled away in the third. But the Saints was competitive in that game. It was a very competitive game. The last time we was in Los Angeles, first half we got blown out. In the second half, we showed who the fuck we were. We fought back. We came back in that game against the Rams on Thursday Night Football. We just lost. We put ourselves behind the 8 ball so fast we could just never get out of it. So um that's one of those games where it's gonna be very interesting to see what it is. Puka Nacua is gonna be there. Is Devontae Adams gonna still be looking like Devontae Adams, or is he gonna be looking like Devontae Adams of last year, where it was kind of like up and down games? He wasn't really too crazy. He had moments, but it wasn't too over the top. What is this game gonna look like? Is Matthew Stafford gonna be upright by the time we get to that game? Like it's a lot of things that that game is gonna look like for the Rams. Week 10, Carolina circled, and it's a divisional game. I don't think it's an impactful game. I think Bryce Young is gonna be good this season. I think he's gonna be better than what people expect, but I don't think he's gonna be too great to the point where people are now like, okay, he's now not labeled a bust anymore. No, I don't think that. I think I think that he's gonna be okay. I think what we saw from him late last year is the Bryce Young I expected him to be if he had the right situation around him. But doesn't still change the fact that that is the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers have looked like this team, and they got a better offensive line. They've worked on their offensive line. They've built their offensive line. They've done an amazing job with that offensive line. The receiving core is still a little shaky. I mean, outside of drafting a rookie that you drafted from Arizona, great. But what else? The defense of Carolina is still a little, I don't know. But we shall see. And of course, that was the game where Dennis Allen got extremely fired after, because that was the game where we should have never lost to Carolina, but we did, and the team quit on him right then and there. So yeah, we got to buy week 11. I hate these. I like these late buys better. I'm okay. I rather like a week 8, week 9 buy for the Saints, because it's just like it gives us enough time to recoup and be like, okay, this was at the end of the stretch. Let's get into it. But let's get it. Week 12, we come off of the bye against the Atlanta Falcons. I circled it because it's a conference game. I had put a bullet on it because it's a divisional game, and I put it through X because it's an impactful game. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all, man. I think Atlanta's gonna win the division this year. It's not gonna take a lot of games. I say 12. I think 11, 12. I think Atlanta wins the division this year. I have so much respect for what Michael Penix Jr. is as a quarterback. I think he's going to have an incredible, and I mean an incredible year this year. I don't think the receiving core of Atlanta is great. They didn't fix shit in that receiving core. They didn't fix a goddamn thing in that receiving core. But what they did do was what I have been screaming for them to do since me and my brother Juan started doing our mock draft shows. Draft a fucking defensive player. Get the fucking defense right. And they did it. They drafted 2. Mikael Williams. They drafted James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. They drafted 2. They drafted 2. And then they drafted secondary help. which they also fucking needed. And Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. Yeah, I think Atlanta's gonna win the division this year. I think the offense is gonna be super great. I don't at all, but that defense is gonna keep them out of a lot of bullshit. Something that they desperately needed. So yeah, week 13 we go to Miami. If Tua's upright, this is going to be a game. If Tua's not, we're going to probably win. I, I, I hate to say it like that, but that's kind of how I feel. Like, if Tua's upright, yeah. If Miami isn't already at by this week 13 season, already at the fucking skits of their season, and it's just like, yeah, this team is not it. Tyreek Hill could probably already been traded because some teams are going to need him. Tyreek Hill could be completely traded by this time. So, yeah. Tua could be hurt. Miami did not approve the offensive line, which they desperately fucking needed to do. Unlike Atlanta, Miami just did not approve the offensive line. They didn't do shit to fix that offensive line at all. And it's a problem. Week 14, it's another divisional game, and that's Tampa Bay. We're at Tampa Bay now. I don't know what the Saints are going to look like at that time. I have no idea what the Saints are going to look like at that time, week 14. Like I said, it could still be for the division. Who knows? We could still be in the division. I don't know. Week 15, Carolina at home. Same thing. A divisional game. Who knows? Who knows what this is going to look like? Week 16, Jets at home. They come to us. I expect the Jets to make some noise this year. I know a lot of people don't expect it, but I do. I expect the Jets to make some noise this year. I expect the Jets to be a really good team this year. By week 16, they should be probably also playing for a playoff spot. I think they might finish second in the AFC East. I would not be surprised if the Jets ruin a couple teams' seasons and actually end up in the playoffs. So that's going to be a hard game by week 16 for us, definitely. Week 17, we're on the road against Tennessee. A lot of people thought we'd be opening the season on the road against Tennessee, but we're going to be in week 17 in Tennessee. I think Cam Ward's going to have an amazing season, but that Tennessee Titans team still is shaky as shit. In week 18, we're on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. The reason why I kept saying I don't know at the end is because I don't fucking know. I think our season really depends on about week 10. That's when I can really say, okay, we can fucking shut this shit down and go get ready for next year. I know people think that's crazy to say about week 10 because, like I said, the Cardinals are going to be a good team this year. People just do not expect. I don't know why the people are like just sleeping on the fucking Cardinals. Like the Cardinals didn't have a great year last year. That's going to be a hard week 1. It's going to be a difficult week 1. That Cardinals defense is very good. Kyler Murray's going to play out of his fucking mind. Who the fuck is going to guard Marvin Harrison Jr.? That's going to be a hard game. Week 2, it's going to be hard, but not as hard. I think a lot of people are going to be thinking like, oh, San Francisco is just going to come in and throw us out. I don't expect that. I expect us to have a lot more fight in week 2 than week 1. Week 3, like I said, I'm not really high. I'm not really high on Seattle. I'm not. Sam Darnold did not bring a goddamn soul from Minnesota with him. And then on top of that, they traded and pretty much got rid of all of his fucking weapons. And his offensive line is not great. So good luck. Bills, I'm not high on the Bills. I'm not high on the Bills, but the Bills are still going to have some residue from last year that they're going to kind of skate past the first couple of weeks until people realize that, oh, they don't really have shit. Giants, I don't know what the Giants are going to look like this year. I have no idea. They can be a surprise team in NFC, or they could completely shit the bed. They can completely shit the bed. Who knows? Week 6, like I said, I think the Patriots are going to have an amazing season this year. I think the Patriots are going to be, by the time we get to week 6, Patriots could probably be 4-1, 5-1, 5-0. I expect the Patriots to be a really good fucking team this year. I think the people are not really paying attention to how good the Patriots can really physically fucking be. Patriots are going to be a really great team. They had an amazing free agency, and then they had a incredible fucking draft. I think the Patriots draft was so good that at least 3 of the first 4 picks they had are going to be impactful fucking players the moment they step on the football field. That's how good I think the Patriots are. Number 7, Chicago. Chicago, I'm not really high on Chicago. Chicago's one of those wait and see teams. Like, I gotta wait and see how they actually really look. I'm not in the hype train shit. I think Caleb Williams is okay. I think he can play, but I don't think Caleb Williams is this game changing, altering fucking quarterback. I do not think that. I think when he has real pressure, when he needs to step the fuck up and be the guy, he doesn't do it. I've seen it too many fucking times in college where he just didn't fucking do it. And you can't convince me that now that he's with a football team, an NFL fucking team, that now he's going to transform into this fucking superstar talent. I've seen him play against Utah in a Pac-12 championship game and get his ass handed to him, and he still won the Heisman the week after next. I've seen him get his ass whooped by Utah 2 consecutive games in his Heisman year. I saw him go out there and throw the ball amazing against Tulane and still lose. I saw him play against real competition his last year in college and could barely fucking do anything. And people will sit there and say, but it was his offensive line and it was this. It was, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You supposed to be this game changing quarterback and you didn't do shit. We know this nigga could put yards up. Who gives a fuck that he threw for 4,000 yards when you can't fucking, when you don't show up in a big fucking moments? I don't give a fuck that you put up 4,000 yards. Bitch, you're a quarterback in the NFL. Yeah, better put up 4,000 fucking yards. As easy as they have made the fucking quarterback position for you dumb motherfuckers. If you don't put up 4,000 yards, I'm starting to question your ass now. That is the thing. Like, people are just delusional. They gave him an offensive line. They gave him receivers. They gave him a running back. They gave him an offensive line. They had coach. I am not high on Caleb Williams. I've never been. I just don't believe in the fucking hype. I'm sorry. I do not believe in the hype of Caleb Williams. It just isn't there. I've seen him play against teams that was less than him. And I've seen him play against teams when he actually had to be the guy to keep the team afloat. And he just did not fucking do it. Last year, perfect example. 2 seasons, 2 teams could have went completely different ways last year. 2 teams could have went 2 completely different fucking ways last year. Think about this for a second. Let's say that the cornerback did get into the Hail Mary. Let's say the cornerback stopped the Hail Mary. What makes me think the Chicago Bears season would have went any way that it went the way at the end of the season last year? What makes me believe that it still doesn't go that way? Because I think it still goes that way. I think it still goes that way. And I think the Cardinals and I think the Commanders still get in the playoffs. Like, I think the Commanders just had a better team. I don't have that much faith in Caleb Williams. They're giving him everything under this. They're trying to give this motherfucker everything under the sun to get himself over. You better fucking win. Tampa is a very hard thing to understand. Tampa games are very hard. Tampa plays us. You know what's crazy? We bust Tampa's ass when they had Tom Brady. But ever since Tom Brady left, we can't beat Tampa Bay for shit. We can't beat Tampa Bay for shit. We can't beat these niggas for nothing. We used to bust they ass. I saw a game where we won, and we didn't have Drew Brees. Shit, we barely had Taysom Hill. We won a game 9-3. No, 9-0. I don't even think Tampa Bay scored that fucking game. We won a game 9-0. And Tom Brady was the quarterback in Tampa Bay on a Sunday night. Yeah. Like, and we cannot beat Tampa Bay for shit now. We can't touch these niggas. Week 9, I expect that game to be very intriguing because I think the Rams are going to be a really good team up until a certain point. The Rams always hit this goddamn mid-season wall for some apparent reason. I don't know what it is. Either they start slow and then they finish fast, or either they start fast and finish slow. Is either or. I don't know what the Rams are going to be by week 9, and that's kind of the problem. They can start really fast and then hit the fucking wall, and then by week 9 they're just slow. They're just dragging. It just depends on what the Rams are. Carolina feel like a team that should win the NFC South, but I just don't know what they're gonna look like on the football field. I like Chuba Herbert. I like the rookie that they drafted from Arizona. I thought he was the number 1 receiver off the board. Um, yeah, I like Carolina, but it's just like I don't know what they're gonna be until they get on the football field. I don't know. Atlanta, like I said, I expect Atlanta to win the NFC South. I do. I think they've improved where they need to improve. And I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to have the season. If he would have started right out the gate last year, they would have been in the playoffs. They would have won the division and they would have been in the playoffs. And that's a team that beat Tampa Bay twice with no defense. Think about that for a second. They beat Tampa Bay twice with no defense. Dolphins, like I said, either if Tua's upright, they might have a chance. They might win us. They might beat us. In Miami, if Tua's upright, they might beat us. If Tua's hurt and Tyreek Hill is not also there, good fucking luck. Tampa Bay, same again. Tampa Bay, Carolina, Jets. I expect the Jets to be a good team, but by the time they get to that Week 16 matchup, the Jets are either going to be in the playoff situation or they're going to be pretty much out of it. It just depends. I don't know if the Titans are going to be good this year. I think Cam Ward's going to be good this year, but I just don't think the Titans are going to be good this year. I don't think they have enough to actually. I know they had a pretty good draft. Don't get it twisted, but I think that the Titans have way more problems than answers. And we close out with Atlanta. So listen, man, like I said, offensively, yeah, I get it. Everybody's just ready to see if the rookie quarterback can do his job. Can he help us? Can he win? Can he get us to where we need to be? I get that. 100%. I get that. I totally, totally, totally understand. Here's my dilemma. I don't think it's the defense. I mean, I don't think it's the offense that we need to worry about. I think it's the defense. The Saints hired Brandon Staley as a defense coordinator. I don't think people realize how extremely bad that looks. Brandon Staley is not a great defensive coordinator. He's not. Now, for some dumbass get in my comments and say, Brandon Staley, he won a Super Bowl ring as a defense coordinator of the Rams. Brandon, I don't know what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up. It's not hard to win a defensive coordinator, to be the defensive coordinator when your defense is Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. You had what, like 3 different linebackers that were also top tier caliber players. Eric Waddle, like bro, like nigga, like shut up. Like what are you talking about? Terrell Burgess, who we just signed, he was on that defense. The fuck are you talking about? Like it's not that fucking hard to win a. It's not that fucking hard to win a Super Bowl when you have literally every fucking defensive player under the sun playing for you, my nigga. What are you talking about? They got Von Miller and won a Super Bowl when he came in mid-season. Like, fuck are you talking about? He's not a great defensive coordinator. This is how I know he's not a great defensive coordinator. This dude got the fucking job of the Los Angeles Chargers. Had those players that he had last year. Had those players that he had last year. Those players last year had their best defensive year under a whole new fucking head coach. I don't think people understand this. John Harbaugh came out of college and gave the Chargers one of their best defensive years that they've ever had in the last decade. Brandon Staley literally called a timeout when all he had to do was just take a tie, and go into overtime. Take the tie, and in his you know go into overtime. Take the tie in overtime, lose and take the tie in overtime with the Raiders, and he called a timeout to put his running defense on the fucking football field just to give up 8 fucking yards to Josh Jacobs. The Raiders called a timeout and kicked the field goal and won the game. This is our defensive coordinator. Now, Kellen Moore might have felt like he owed this nigga. Maybe Kellen Moore felt like he owed him one because he hired him when he lost his job at Dallas. Maybe he felt like he owed him one. But this is a very bad situation. I do not think our season is going to be bad because of our offense. Yes, the offense is not going to be particularly great this fucking season. Don't get it twisted. But I don't think people are understanding this defense is going to suck. The same problems they illed us last year is going to ill us this year. We can't tackle. We're old as fuck. If we get hurt, we're done. We do not have the actual physical team defensively to stop anything. Y'all thought it went away because we got rid of Dennis Allen. No, the defense just sucks. We're old. We didn't get younger defensively. We're old, and we still don't know who the fuck we are. Outside of we got Chase Young, who we re-signed, great. We got Chase Young, who we re-signed, awesome. We got Carl Granderson. We got old Cam Jordan, Brian Brzee, and a Christian boy who we drafted last year from North Iowa. You drafted another defensive tackle from Texas this past season. I mean, like, what the fuck are we doing? You got Alontae Taylor and Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's a slot corner. Who's is it Alontae? You know who? Okay, who's outside of Kool-Aid McKinstry? Who's the other corner? Who is it? Like, who's the other corner? Demario Davis, I love Demario Davis, but bro, you up there in the age department. D'Amico Jackson, bro, this is their time to finally shine. Pete Warner has had, ever since his amazing rookie year, he has not done shit. He's either been hurt or he just hasn't been good enough to sustain it. I like the kid we drafted from Oklahoma, but what does that really mean? I think so many people, again, are so prominent so talking about the damn offensive line. Quarterback situation of the Saints, that they're not really paying attention to really what the problem is going to be with the Saints. It's going to be our defense. Our defense is not good. They're old as fuck. They didn't fix shit defensively. They didn't do anything to fix that defense. I think going to get Asante Samuel Jr. will be good for the moment, but he's been injury prone too. Like, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't like this defense. I think this defense is very old. They didn't fix shit. And I don't think people are really ready to see that. But they're going to sit there and say and blame it on this rookie and say, oh, it's his fault. It's not his fault. This fucking defense fucking sucks. It's old as shit. They didn't do anything with it. And people are not going to want to hear that because they've already made up in their minds that it's the offense and it's this quarterback that is a rookie. No, the defense is fucking garbage. The fucking defense sucks. It's not good. They're old as fuck. They can't tackle, and it's a fucking problem. And then you sign a guy who literally is not a defensive coordinator. Last year, this was defensive assistant for the San Francisco 49ers. And their defense fucking sucked last year. This is the thing that people are not understanding. Like, this is again, like I said, of course you're gonna sit there and run your little pieces and say it's because of the rookie quarterback. That's why. Bitch, it's both sides of the football. I don't think the offense is gonna be extremely great. Don't get it twisted. I do not think the offense is gonna be extremely great. But when we lose games this year, it's not gonna be because the fucking offense couldn't put up points. It's because the defense couldn't stop no fucking body. I'm telling y'all this shit now. I'm giving you this now. So when you sit there and you watch these games and you're like, damn, this defense suck. Bro, I've said this shit. I knew it was gonna suck. You brought in a guy who doesn't know how to coach defense at all. He got lucky that he had Aaron fucking Donald and Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller all fall into his lap one fucking year. And then he got the job with the Chargers, and you saw what he was as a defensive-minded coach. He's not good at it. And yet you're going to have dumbasses sit there and say, it's the rookie's fault. Boy, y'all are fucking idiots. Boy, y'all are fucking idiots. Y'all are fucking idiots. You made up in your mind already what it is. And you can't talk certain people off the cliff because they've already jumped. They've already jumped. So, yeah. All in all, what do I think of the Saints moving forward? Do I think they can make the playoffs? Do I think they can win the division? Do I think they can get to at least a 500 record? Like I said, by week 10, we should see who we are. I don't think the first 4 games are as crazy as people think they are. I think it's because of how it looks. It's like Cardinals, 49ers, Seahawks, Bills. I don't think it's as crazy as people think it is. I think that's actually the best time to see who we are. I think we're going to make a lot of mistakes early. But if we can hang in those games, especially with the Cardinals and the Bills, I think that'll tell me more about the Saints moving forward than anything. But yeah. All in all, what do I think of the Saints? I think the Saints can go. Oh shit. I think the Saints can go. Oh shit. I think the Saints, because of how bad our defense look, how bad our defense is. I think we have a better season than people think. I say 6-11. I think 6-11. It sounds crazy that I say 6-11. I think we win 6 games, and I think people would call that a victory for us. I think we were 5-12 last year. I think we win one more game. That's it. I don't think we get these overwhelming, crazy moments. I think 6-11. I think we pull off 2. I think we could win 2 of the first 4. I think we could beat the Giants. The Bears game is a little shaky. The Panthers game, I think we get one of the Panthers games. I think we might get one of the Atlanta games. Like I said, the Dolphins game is an interesting one. The Jets game is pretty interesting, and the Tennessee game is also a very interesting one. I say 6 or 7 games. I think we win a 6 or 7 games. I think 6-11, 7-10. That's what I think. I think it's not going to be a crazy season. I think it's going to be something that we're going to be more like, wow. I can't believe we won that many games. I do not trust the defense for shit. I don't think the defense is going to be great this year. But I think we have literally no faith in the offense. And I think Lord have mercy. Kellen Moore is going to have this offense playing better than people think. Yes, even with the rookie, I think this offense is not as bad as people think. I think we're going to use the running game a lot more. Elvin's going to have certain moments, but I think we're going to see Kendrick Miller a little bit more. I can see even them trying to probably maybe trade Kendrick Miller because of Devin Neal. If they see a lot in Devin Neal in training camp, I can see Kendrick Miller getting traded and making room for somebody else. So yeah, but 6-11, 7-10. That sounds crazy, but that's what I truly believe that's the Saints, and that is it. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow to do I Bleed Sports, NFL schedule. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, breakdown, I guess. But that is the Saints. Till next time, I am Brandon Janeau. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. Preseason is coming up. Rookie mini camp, I think is just about to open up in June. A couple weeks, which is crazy. And training camp is right around the corner. And then preseason, and then we're back in the football swing. Until then, I'll be all, and then when the season starts, I will be back to do Bleed Black and Gold for the 3rd season of this. But until then, man, I am Brandon Janeau. Peace. Who that?